practice. I mean,
It's all those drops in the preseason long gone, huh?
Forget about it.
He's had a good first couple of weeks as a pro.
Yeah.
What about today near the confluence in his first divisional battle of his career? And then SoFi Stadium, home of the marquee event of the Sunday afternoon games. The Bucks, the defending champs, playing in the spot where the new champs will be crowned, and the LA Rams come in undefeated as well. We are across the street. Steve Weich is across from us. What's up, Steve?
Well, Rich, you're waiting for the sun to come up here in Los Angeles. But as we know, the Buccaneers offense has started like gangbusters with quarterback Tom Brady and his abundance of skilled players leading the way. But the play of the offensive line cannot be overlooked. I spoke to Senator Ryan Jensen about this, and he said they really like where they are, in large part because this entire unit has played at least 20 games together, with other members of that group playing several more. But he said having a full offseason with Tom Brady has really helped because they finally learned how Brady likes to communicate, especially at the line of scrimmage. And as for today, he said, of course, they have to know where Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald is, and they have to be aware of some blitz packages that caught them off guard last year when the Rams beat the Buccaneers. And not long after that loss, the Buccaneers have been unstoppable.
It is finally here, Super Bowl 55. Bucks are the Super Bowl champs. Godwin scores the first of 2021.
A lot of football, boys.
Football! Intercepted. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Fire the cannons. 5 touchdown passes. The defending Super Bowl champions have won 10 in a row.
So once upon a time, the Bucks were a team that Brady was getting used to, and they to him, and he's getting used to an offense, and then boom. The boom being they haven't lost since Thanksgiving weekend of last year. And they're the defending champs coming to the spot where this year's champs will be crowned. Welcome to NFL Game Day Morning, presented by Lowe's. Join the home team. Michael Irvin, Kurt Warner, Steve Mariucci, Rich Eisen. I mean, think about it. Last year was the year where Brady was getting used to everything. Living in Tampa, the ride to work, what's going on at work, kind of setting up the way that things that he likes, the way that he likes it. Gronk was knocking rust off. Now, Tommy and Gronky are like the good old days are back, and now this is Brady being comfortable in this offense and fully knowing everything. So that leads to the question at the bottom of the screen: can anyone stop the Buccaneers?
Yeah, no, nobody's going to stop them, and that graphic just showed that, when he gets on a streak and he starts beating you 9 times in a row, he's going to put a 30 or 40 burger on you and just rub it in. But here we go again. It's going to require a team that plays great defense. Let's face it. You have to play great defense to keep them under 30, keep them down under 24 points, and you might have a chance. The Rams have a heck of a defense. I don't need to talk about Aaron Donald over there, the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. They're going to move him around, and they're going to find a place where he likes to rush from, whether it's inside or on the edge, and they'll find the mismatch, and Aaron Donald will be in Tom Brady's face. The other great player is Jalen Ramsey, and they're going to move him around too. He can play, he can follow you, even though they play a lot of zone, but he can follow you from side to side. He can go inside, and you got great players on each level. So this Rams defense will keep and should keep the Bucks down, and then be a heck of a game today, Kurt.
Well, Coach, you talk about great defense, but let's just boil this down to really what this is about. And we've been saying it for years. You have to get interior pressure on Tom Brady. You've got to get quick pressure on Tom Brady. They've got weapons all over the place, as you mentioned, Rich. I mean, Gronk looks like the old Gronk. He's playing so well right now. Weapons on the outside. They can run the football at play action. The offensive line is playing well. You have to find a way to pressure him. And beautiful thing is you got Aaron Donald, and you say, man, can we get pressure with 4 so we can leave all those other guys on the back end? The question is, if you can't, how do you deploy a blitz package to get pressure on Tom Brady and not expose those guys on the outside besides Jalen Ramsey with all the weapons that the Bucs have?
And you know what's great here and what we do here, just so people understand, when we say things, there's a difference between when you imply. When you imply, that's just you coming up with something. But when you infer, that means that's a deduction, that we've got gathered information Now we're giving it to you. Coach said keep them under 30 points, because you do have to keep them under 30 points. The last time somebody kept them under 30 points were these same Rams. And you said you need to keep them about 24 points. That's exactly what the Rams did. They had 24. They beat them 27-24. Now, let me tell you this. Why I say about going undefeated. The Buccaneers right now, 9 straight games scored over 30 points. They've scored over 30 points, 9 straight games. They broke the record of Tom Brady's 07 Patriots and 2011 Patriots, who had 8. So now, if they get by this team today, as I said earlier, because I inferred this, they have a great chance of going undefeated, because this is the only team that can keep them under 30. You see how this thing works? We go through this stuff and get all of this information for you. We do this for you because we love you. We infer, and it usually comes true. And I say yes. Nobody can stop it.
You don't just analyze. This is a tapestry you're weaving. I just realized that.
Yes,
you're
this is.
Weaving a
Thank you.
tapestry.
Hey, Rich, I'm trying to bring this home. This is what we do.
I thought you were going to say it's getting deep in here.
This is what we do. Rich, you got that, Rich.
Don't feed the beast.
I do that every day.
Don't encourage more of this.
I do that every day on my show, so I weave a tapestry every day. I understand what it looks like. See?
I dealt that, man. Come
There's
on,
an I in Rich and Eisen, just like 2
Come on in here, let us infer to you every day.
Oh, yeah, a little Kansas City cornhole, everybody. Come on now, a tailgate in Kansas City. Looks like a beautiful day for football. Get it in there. James Palmer, take it away.
That is great stuff.
Well, thanks, Rich. Last season, the Baltimore Ravens blitzed 46% of the time. Number 1 in the NFL. Last week against the Chiefs, they blitzed just 5 times. I talked to multiple Chiefs players who told me they think this is going to be the game plan for teams going against them moving forward for the rest of the season. Now, speedster wide receiver McCole Hardeman said, yeah, it goes to kind of take some of the fun out of it when a safety is playing 40 yards behind the line of scrimmage. But he said, the Ravens didn't stop us. We still scored 35 points. He said, if you don't have the approach the Ravens had with us moving forward, well, we're just going to destroy you. But he did say, Rich, we're going to nickel and dime and work our way down the field if that's the patience we need to show other teams.
So you take a look at the Chiefs' last 3 games, including the playoffs. There's a lot of negatives up there, and then that negative sign between the 1 and the 2 means they've lost 2 or 3, including the Super Bowl. Now, speaking of my show, I had 2-time Super Bowl champion Chris Long on my show this week. Really? He said the Kansas City Chiefs is great for the NFL. The defense, the Kansas City Chiefs defense is great for the NFL.
Why?
Because it just kind of gets boring watching them score all those points, and then just you have to try and keep up with the Chiefs. So you see the Chiefs defense give up what they gave up against Kansas City, and then obviously the Ravens did what they did on Sunday night last week. Are you concerned about the Kansas City Chiefs? Mr. Tapestry, I think you're
Oh, my God. Listen, guys.
Weave it, Michael. Weave it.
This just trips me out. I mean, did you see that game the other night? Oh, my God.
The whole country
Kurt,
did. Yeah.
we're going to take it in Football 101. And people, we're bound to ask this question. Absolutely not. We are not worried about Kansas City. And everybody's talking about that defense. And, oh, my God, look at the defense. Look at the defense. It took this kind of a play. This kind of a play, and had it not been for a fumble, the Ravens would have lost this game, and the Chiefs would have won this game. I don't know what this is.
It's a cartwheel in the end zone.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
He hurt his hip.
the end zone.
That's how he hurt his hip.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But absolutely, no one's concerned about the Chiefs. As long as they got Patrick Mahomes, as long as they got that guy right there, as long as they got that guy on the sideline, Andy Reid, and they got Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, there should be no concerns about the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. But I think
When offensive line, please.
But I think we say this every year, don't we?
Yeah.
Is that we go through the regular season and we're like, oh, the offense is great, but I don't know about that defense. I don't know if they can stop the run. I don't know if they can step up when. And they always step up when the time comes.
Right.
And I think it's twofold. It's the defense playing better, but it's that guy in the offense continues to instill fear in their opponent come playoff time. Like in the regular season, okay, when you get into a one-and-done type situation and you go, oh, my gosh, we got to keep up with that guy. We got to keep up with that guy. And you start playing a different brand of football come playoff time, defense steps up. It feeds right into what the defense does. This offense is going to make plays for them. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about the concern during the regular season, but all that really matters to them is playoffs and winning Super Bowls, and I'm not concerned about that.
And what Kurt's saying is right there, because in the regular season, okay, you match them, and, it's one thing. But in the playoffs, matching them becomes another thing. That's why they came back that year. Remember, they were double digits down on every game, and they came back because in the playoffs, the stakes are higher, and they always play the same way with the stakes higher, and you may not.
You mentioned they lost 2 out of their last 3 games. Yeah, okay. They're not in a slump, all right? The Super Bowl loss, they had their banged-up offensive line. Well, they're getting that fixed. They got 5 new starters up there and a couple of rookies, and they're young, and they got to grow as the season progresses, and they will. And then they lose to Baltimore after being ahead by 11 in the fourth quarter, and then blew that lead. And they lost to a couple of good teams, teams that run the football. The defense is the concern, obviously. We all love watching the star-studded offense score a lot of points, and Spags has got his work cut out for him. But Chris Jones and Tyrann Mathieu and Frank Clark and the boys, these guys are going to be better, hopefully, as the season. They can't give up 200 yards a game rushing, but they just play Cleveland and Baltimore, who that's all they do, right? So this team is going to be better as the season progresses.
Can I launch 2 complaints?
Please launch.
Just because,
Sure, Michael.
It was 57 minutes into this show.
Oh, boy.
Before we brought up the Dallas Cowboys, and you brought them up.
They play Monday night.
But you said
they don't play today.
For 57 minutes of waiting, the first thing you said
they don't
was,
play.
Yeah, okay.
They're 1-1. They don't play.
Okay, I'm just saying it took 57
We don't even usually talk about
Let's not do that again. Okay.
I don't understand. By the way, did you notice the interesting irony that the pitcher of the Chiefs is wearing the catcher's uniform? That's Salvador Perez. You don't know who Salvador Perez is, do you, Steve?
Is he part owner?
No, well, Perez has been owning a lot of pitching this year, that's for sure. Mahomes is a part owner of the
He had a free shirt on.
All right, it's time to open the reporter's notebook, and the reporter's notebooks are that of Ian Rappaport, Mike Garafolo, and Tom Pelissero. Gentlemen, take it away. Ian?
Rich, we knew that Tua Tagovailoa was not going to play this week for the Miami Dolphins. What we did not know until yesterday was that he was not going to play 2 additional games as well. Yesterday, the Dolphins officially placed Tua on IR, which means he is out a minimum of 3 weeks with those cracked ribs, multiple cracked ribs. I'm told they do expect him back at the 3-week mark, so week 6 is when you should see Tua back. Meanwhile, Tom, it is going to be Jacoby Brissett now in as a starter. He's got starting experience, but if this does not go well, those rumors about are they going to try to trade for Deshaun Watson are only going to get louder.
Ian, Elijah Mitchell not expected to play. Jermichael Hasty on injured reserve. So running back Trey Salmon, the rookie 3rd-round pick, will lead the way for the 49ers tonight against the Packers. He has all of 1 snap on the year. It came last week against the Eagles, and he suffered a concussion on that play, but he cleared the protocol on Friday. They like the way that he has responded since week 1 when he was inactive. So as a 49ers official told me, he's the only one that's been here longer than 2 weeks. Of course he's going to get the bulk of the carries.
Mike, this will be the Packers' first game in a full stadium on the road since they got blown out in the NFC Championship game at Levi's Stadium way back in January of 2020. Coach Matt LaFleur challenged his team this week, particularly on offense, not just to handle the adversity with the crowd noise. LaFleur said, we know these guys are physical as hell. We need to exceed that if we're going to have a chance. Not easy with 4 young offensive linemen protecting Aaron Rodgers, including Yosh Nijman expected to get his first NFL start at left tackle. In other news, after Hurricane Ida and a fire on the roof of the Caesars Superdome last week, the governor of Louisiana and mayor of New Orleans informed the NFL that, yes, the stadium is good to go for the Saints' true home opener next week against the Giants. Ian?
Guys, it has been nothing but adversity for this Baltimore Ravens defense, injury after injury, and now this week, COVID news. 4 defensive players, including 2 starters, Justin Houston and Brandon Williams, landed on the COVID-19 reserve list. That means, depending on how you look at it, they're essentially going to be without 8 starters today for Wink Martindale's defense. Their mantra has been, don't flinch and rely on the scheme. Be versatile. That is as important as it ever is today.
And we've got one bonus note for you here. Sources say time travel has been invented. This was last night. We've got Christine Taylor from The Wedding Singer there on the left. And then, Ian, I thought you were from Westchester, not Hollis, Queens. Learn something new every day.
God, I look good.
All right. Sources say what jury